summer.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video special. Unfortunately, the mic that I had didn't work for some reason and the audio didn't pick up properly, so I'm stuck doing this voiceover because I didn't want this fun interview to go to waste. So I do apologize for the lack of audio, but I hope you enjoy. So after I introduced Kris Trindl, aka Rain Man, the first question that I asked him was if this was his first time playing EZoo, to which he said no. He's played there 3 years ago with Krewella, but it was his first time there as a solo artist. And then the next question I asked him is how did he find it different from when he was performing with Krewella as to now as a solo artist. And he replied that it basically definitely gives him more freedom to be creative and independent. Now, I've always been interested as to see how these artists came up with their names, so I had to ask Kris how he came up with Rain Man. And he basically said that he was doing a beat battle in Chicago. He was in the final round, and there were some industry judges, and he ended up losing because the other guy sampled Biggie, but one judge voted for him while the other two voted for the other guy. The one who voted for Kris asked him what his name was, and he said blah blah blah, and the judge was like, nope, you're Rain Man, because one day you're gonna have money raining down on you. So he ended up taking it. And it was during this time that he called me out on my Krewella gear. I was wearing a sweatshirt and I had a Krewella case. I forgot what we were talking about, but he was very nice and humble about it and actually thankful that I supported them. Now, if you didn't already know, Rain Man is signed to DIM Mak, Steve Aoki's record label, and that weekend was a big weekend for them. They were celebrating DIM Mak's 20th anniversary at EZoo, and I had to ask if they had any other plans for celebrating, and he explained that it is a very exciting year for them. 2016 marks their 20th anniversary, and all that they had going on was they were going to Vegas to perform a few shows, and he explained that he had to get up really early the next morning to fly out to Vegas and perform at a couple of shows. And then I just went on to blab about how amazing my experience was when I went to Vegas for EDC 2014. Now, one of Rain Man's first singles that he recorded with DIM Mak Records is called Bring Back the Summer. And I had to ask what his inspiration behind it was, and he said that it came together all within one night. The vocalist on the track, named Ollie, had the lyrics. She tweeted him the song, which he wrote, and then he created the beat, and they put it together within one day. It's a crossover pop electronic genre, and she wrote the lyrics and the vocals, and he turned it into Bring Back the Summer within one night. Now, following up with that other question, I asked him if pop electronic sound was something that he wanted to stick with or continue with drum and bass, because I know before starting in 2012 or even 2011, it was a lot of the music that he was producing. And he explained that as of right now, he's just experimenting with sounds, like with Bring Back the Summer and Alive with Krewella. They ended up creating more pop electronic sounds and incorporated a lot of vocals in the songs. But with tracks like Killin' It, Party Monster, Play Harder, it was a lot of drum and bass and hardcore EDM. And it just kind of whatever comes to him and what he's feeling at the time, he'll create it, play around with different sounds, and go from there. But there's not a specific sound that he's really going for. But I have to say, during his set at EZoo, it was so freaking dirty. His set was amazing. It was hardcore drum and bass EDM. Like, it was on freaking point. Props to Rain Man. As far as new music and what the fans can look forward to later on, he did say that he has a new single that he will be releasing. First, he did say it was going to release on September 30th, but now I heard that it will be released early October, I believe October 7th, and at the same time he's also working on an EP. And then I asked one of my favorite questions, if he could collaborate with anybody dead or alive, who would it be and why? I forget who exactly he said. I couldn't catch the name, but I believe it was a guitarist from a rock band. He did say he's a fan of Metallica, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I want to say it was something along the lines of Blink-182, Linkin Park, one of those. I'm sorry, I can't remember. And then to wrap it up, I asked the favorite wrap-up question, 5 things that we don't know about you. And of course, he was really surprised. He was like, 5? I was like, I know, a lot of people get stumped with this, so you're not alone. He couldn't come up with 5, but he did say that he plays acoustic guitar. And after a lot of thought, he eventually admitted that he loves watching Gossip Girl, which really surprised me, which I'm sure also surprises many of you. And by the end of the interview, he concluded that he found himself to be a very boring person. And I basically jokingly made fun of him for that, but in reality, he's not. Honestly, if you're living the life, doing what you love to do, creating music, traveling the world, there's nothing boring about that. But, you know, he was really sweet, very humble, and I had a great time talking to him. And, yeah, so that concludes my interview with Rain Man. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, I apologize for the lack of audio and having to do the voiceover, but if you still enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.